So I guess I'll start. My name is Jeff Brenner. I grew up in Louisiana. Now, most of my childhood, I was in a mainstream school. But growing up back then, there were no interpreters. Uh, that would have been, you know, different resources. They really weren't available for schools back then. Remember, I was in school back in the 1970s, 76, 7, 8, 9, that area. That's what we're talking about. And the resources just weren't available. So I grew up, I didn't really know anything about interpreters. I didn't see any of them. I had to watch the teachers' mouths, or um, sometimes the teachers had different pictures available, and they could use the pictures to communicate. And I'd have to read my homework at home, and I'd really carefully read it. And my mom would help me at home. She would explain things. But then my parents got divorced, so I moved with my mom, and so we moved into New Orleans. But my father lived in Lafayette, which is about a 3-hour drive away. But here in New Orleans, the only thing available in New Orleans was an oral school. So there was no signing. I couldn't do anything. And I was there for 7th and 8th grade. And I was really not happy with it, but at least they had a program. It was oral. I couldn't sign. But at least they had a program, so they had something that they could actually use to communicate with me. And the communication was better than what it used to be growing up, so I couldn't really complain. Uh, anyway, uh, they're in 7th, 8th grade. Finished that. Talking about, graduating from middle school, what do we do next? So, my mom was talking with a bunch of her friends, and she found out that her friend, their children go to the Model Secondary School for the Deaf in Washington, D.C. at Gallaudet University, MSSD. And at first, I didn't think, no, I can't do that. It's too far. I don't like the idea of being so far away, and all these new kids out there that I've never met, and I have no way of contacting back home. But my mom and we talked about it, and it really seemed like it was the best place for me. And later I could just go to Gallaudet, and it would be a seamless transition. So I went, and I get there, and there's this great signing program. It's all signing, and I didn't really know any sign. I mean, the summer before I had learned a little bit of sign from some different friends, but this was amazing. It was my first real experience with just strong going out to MSSD and learning all of these signs from different people and learning school. And I was able to actually not be awkward, and I could learn. I could understand. So that program, so much better than back home. But that first day that I stepped into MSSD, I was just amazed, enthralled with it. And I couldn't believe how good that it was. And I really found that I could actually have a regular communication with a person. That was so foreign to me. I could have complete information. Before, I never had like complete information, or I had to run it through an interpreter, so it wasn't direct communication with another person. MSSD was amazing because the entire place I had direct communication. I had positive communications with people. Even in my group work, I didn't have to worry about it. It wasn't just the teacher, it was even in the group works I could communicate, and I'd never had that before. That was so amazing for me. Growing up, it was the complete opposite of this. So that experience really, really helped me. I learned so much more so fast, and I just caught back up to where I should have been. And I learned those 4 years. Really, that experience was probably one of the best experiences of my life. And I was just so proud to be there that I could have that experience. So then, when I graduated, yeah, I moved into Gallaudet, and it was the same sort of thing, just even more. Just I learned so much more there. Learned to be more independent. I learned self-responsibility and self-confidence. And then I met you, right? Um, well, that was my senior year. Actually, I did 2 seniors. I was junior twice, second year senior, really, trying to decide on my major and my, different associates, and I want to get the full degree. So, um, really, what happened was I just couldn't leave Gallaudet because I wasn't ready for the change. I mean, I know I have to change with the times, right? Everybody has to change with the times, and you have to go out and move into real life. But I was afraid to move out. And I was really liking the world that I was in. I didn't want to go into the, quote unquote, new world, the real world. But yeah, I moved out. It was year and a half later, right? Is that right? Yeah. So it was a year plus the fall semester, Christmas, and I had graduated. I had all the credits to graduate at Christmas break, but I had to go back in May to actually graduation ceremony with my class, and then I went to work at CD. Wait. Let me back up a second here. So I did an internship for CD. Um, that was the first thing that I did was an internship, and then they had offered me a job as soon as I graduated from Gallaudet. They said, go back, finish your school, come back with your degree, and we'll hire you. So I did. I went back. I finished that last semester for Christmas break. Uh, I went back. So then I go to CD and I start working there for the end through May. Then I went back to Gallaudet, Washington, D.C., so I could graduate with my class. When that was finished, then I went back again and I started working again at CD. Well, I continued working at CD, and I've been there for 5 years now.